Hi, so for this first activity, what we're doing is creating a program where whenever a user inputs a value, any number between 1 and that value, if it's divisible by 4, should be outputted to the console. So to begin with, we'll be initializing the first integer. Next, we'll be assigning the value to n. Okay, so after that, we'll then be assigning the n to the value that they enter here. We'll make it look a bit nicer just by saying right instead, so it appears next to the line. Now we have to add in a for loop to check the number. We'll also initialize another number. Cancel that, we don't actually have to. Oh. Next, what we do is check every value to see whether it is divisible by 4. And to do this each time it is correct that it is divisible by 4, what it'll do is print it to the console. There's all what we need for now, so if we run this through, enter a value, I'll chuck in 10. And on the left you can see that it is correct, but I shall give it a space for the moment, just for better visibility. If we rerun again, chuck in the same number. So the only issue here so far is that I found that 0 is not divisible by 4. Whereas the only problem with this is that when we look at this code, well, all this checks is whether the remainder of this number, whether it's divisible by 4 or not. Easily changeable by replacing that with 1, because that is what is required. So if we run this again and chuck in a larger number, let's say 22, it will get every number that should be outputted. Now the only issue with this at the moment is that we are unsure whether this is, well, someone may input something else entirely that shouldn't be here, say a letter or a number. So to get this, what we add in is a try and catch statement. So this should cover all values that are, in a way, all ones that are not a integer. Now the only issue with this is that now people may use numbers that are less than 1, so we'll have to account for that as well. So the best way to do this, I believe, is to loop it. Chucking it below the 0 will keep it within this range. So now to test, let's say I chuck in a number, -4. It now chucks me back to the start. Which is an issue. Which hasn't told the person that they have entered an incorrect value. Just changing up the wording should make it enough. And with that, I believe I've completed the activity. Thank you.